Hi, welcome to Chris Cook for You Too. Today I'm going to be doing a special dish. It's stuffed bell peppers. Now there is a lot of ingredients that go into making stuffed bell peppers, but it can be really easy if you know how to do it. So let's get started with the ingredients that you're going to need. You're going to need some sweet Italian sausage, which I have sitting over on the side, and you're going to need some ground beef, which I also have sitting on the side. And what I'm going to do with these two items is I'm going to fry it up and I'm going to chop it up fine like I'm making chili, and then I'll show you the process. Now, because I'm having dinner guests, I'm going to make this kind of special. This is not something that normally goes into your stuffed bell peppers, but I've tried it before and I truly enjoy it. I'm going to add shrimp to some of them. Some of them I won't add shrimp. Like I said, I will repeat this. This is not a normal part or ingredient of your stuffed bell peppers, but you can put anything that you want to put into bell peppers in order to make it your own personal dish. The other ingredients that you're going to need is, of course, rice, the bell peppers, onion, chopped tomatoes, garlic. This is granulated garlic, granulated onion powder, oregano, and you will need some type of sauce, whether it's marinara sauce, you make your own sauce, but in anything that requires a tomato sauce, I normally will use Prego. The reason for that is I like this brand, and it only takes an extra added ingredient to make this oh so perfect. Now, you can top your stuffed bell pepper with cheese. I will top some of mine with cheese, and some of them you don't have to top with cheese if you choose not to. So these are the ingredients that you'll need. I'm going to go away and get everything together, and then I'm going to come back and show you how to put together this very quick, complicated, but you can make it real easy dish. I want to show you how to do your bell peppers, because you're going to add the chopped part. You're going to chop off the top of your bell pepper, and I'll show you how to do it. What I mean by that is you're going to take this top. You're not going to put this top back down on the top of here. You can do it if you want to, but we're going to chop this up and make this an added ingredient that goes into our ground beef and our sausage. So what you want to do is, once you get that open, you just want to go around the insides because you want to gut it. So you want to go as close to the outside rim as you possibly can, and you want to cut it away from that bell pepper. Now, once you cut it away, you can easily just take your knife and thumb it out. See how I thumbed out the inside of that bell pepper? Then you want to go inside and you want to cut down without piercing the outside of the pepper. You don't want to do that. You want to cut down and get that little bit of inside part that you had left out of the bell pepper, because once you hollow it out, that's what you're going to take to stuff. So I've hollowed it out. See, I got all my pieces out. And now look at it. That's what you want. You don't want to pierce the outside, because you want to put your stuffing inside of here, and you want to bake it inside of this pepper shell. So now that I've gone ahead and I've cleaned this out, I'm going to clean out the rest of them. I'm going to wash them off, and I'm going to get my green pepper and my onions all chopped up. Next time, I'll meet you at the stove. Be right back. Okay, now I'm at the stove and I have my ground beef in and I have my Italian sausage in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fry this up, and it's going to be, you want to fry it up like if you were putting it in chili. So I'll come back and show you what the finished product, and it's okay that you cook both of these together. It doesn't really make a difference. So I'm just going to add to this my seasonings, and that's all the seasonings that you saw that I was using at the table. I'm going to put that all in there, and I'm going to add this I'm going to add to this my onion and my green peppers, but I'm not going to add it now. I'm going to wait until this is almost done, and then I'm going to add this to the mixture as well. Now, this will take a few minutes, so I'm just going to go away and get this all done. And then once I get this all done, I'm going to bring you back. If I need to drain it, I'm going to drain it. And then we'll move to adding the sauce and adding the rice so that we can simmer this and get it ready to stuff our peppers with. I'll be right back. Okay, now I'm back, and my sausage and my ground beef has cooked up. But you see there's a lot of oil in the bottom. So I'm going to go away and drain this oil out. And at that point is when I'll put in my onions and my green peppers. I'll add my rice and I'll add my tomatoes. I'll be right back and show you now that. I let it cook a little bit longer because I had some pieces that was not quite done, so I just let it cook a little bit longer. Then I drained it out so you can see all the oils are gone. But you see I have some big lumps still in here. They're like that. You don't want that. So what's going to happen now is I'm going to add the rice and the water. Now once I add the water to this, that's going to help to break up those big lumps that you see that I have in there. That's going to break all of that up. So I'm going to go ahead and add my onions and my bell peppers. Now if you want to saute your onions and your bell peppers first, go ahead and do that. With the amount of time that this is going to be cooking on top of the stove, and then with the amount of time that it's going to cook in my oven, I didn't feel that that was necessary, but you can do that if that's what you choose to do. Now, once you get all of that added in, you're going to go ahead and you're going to add your diced or chopped tomatoes, whichever one you're using or you have. Now you're going to stir that in. I also washed off 1.5 cups of rice. This is uncooked rice. You want to do it with cooked rice, you can. You can cook your rice separately and then add it. But this is uncooked rice, and you can just go ahead and cook it in the pot with everything else, since this has to simmer anyway. So you're going to add in your rice, and your rice is going to pick up the flavor from your ground beef, your green peppers, your onions, and your tomatoes. Now once you get that in, and notice I have not put the prego in yet, and that's like the last step before you get ready to stuff. You're going to go ahead and add 2 cups of water to this. Okay, that's 2 cups of water. And then you're going to cover this, and on low you're going to allow this to go ahead and simmer for at least 30 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and allow this to simmer for 30 minutes. I'll bring you back at that point and let you see it. My rice should be done. Then I can go ahead and add my other sauce, and we can get ready to stuff. I'll be okay. Right now back. We're back, and it's been about 25 minutes, something like that. Okay, not quite 30. But you can see my rice is done inside of my ground beef, along with my tomatoes, onions, and my celery. So it's at this point that I'm going to go ahead and add my prego sauce, where you would add your marinara sauce or your homemade sauce, whichever one it is that you choose to add. And I'm going to add about 2 cups of this. Alrighty. And then what makes prego sauce really, really good is when you add 2 tablespoons of sugar to that. So I'm going to go ahead and add 2 tablespoons of sugar to that. And I'm going to add just a little bit more water, because I want this to continue to simmer for about 15 minutes. That'll give me my total of 45 minutes with simmering. But you could stuff now if you choose to. I don't, but this looks really, really good. So I'm going to add to this a fourth of a cup of water. That should be enough. Okay. And I'm going to let this continue to simmer until that water has disintegrated. And that's going to take about 15 minutes. And at that time, I'll bring you back and we'll stuff the peppers. Now, one thing that I want to tell you, I did saute my shrimp, I'm sorry, but shrimp is optional. That's not something that you have to do. I sauteed my shrimp in butter. I'm going to go ahead and cut them up, and I'm going to add them as I make the green peppers. I'm not going to put them into this because I want some to have the shrimp, some not to have the shrimp, some to have the cheese, some not to have the cheese. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to cut that up, and I'll bring you right back by the time I think this is ready. Be right back. Okay, now I'm back and I'm all ready. I want you to take a look at the stuffing for the bell peppers. See how good it came out. My rice is done. Everything is done. Looks good, tastes good. You do need to taste it for seasonings to make certain that you have at least enough salt in it. But I've tasted this and this tastes fantastic. So that's really done. So let's get started with stuffing these peppers. And I'm going to stuff half of the pan one way and half of the pan another way. So the first thing you want to do is you want to put down a bed of your sauce. And in my case, I'm using Prego sauce. So I'm just going to layer down a bed of sauce. Now, from this point on, it's simply a cakewalk. And you don't need a thick layer. You just need a thin layer of sauce to go on the bottom. Okay. Now, once you get that done, you want to begin to stuff your peppers. And one thing that I did was I oiled with some olive oil all the outsides of my bell pepper. And what that does is it helps it to break down, easier, and it won't have that stiff crunch to it. So what you're going to do is you're going to fill it however you want to fill it. On this one, I'm going to put just a little bit of cheese in the bottom. And then I'm going to fill it with my stuffing. And I told you that I'm having guests. So halfway through the process, I'm going to go ahead and put just a little bit more cheese. And at that point, I'm going to add some shrimp to this. And I diced up my shrimp. Now, you don't have to use shrimp, and all the time I don't use shrimp. I'm just using it today because I'm having guests. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to continue to fill up this. Now, once you get to the top, you can do it one of two ways. You can either layer it with some cheese or you can layer it with some of your sauce. Either way, doesn't really matter. But you do that just before you get ready to place it in the oven. So I'm going to place that one down. And then I'm going to go ahead, grab another, and I'm going to continue to fill. A little layer of cheese. I'm going to add my stuffing mix, and it tastes so good. A little bit more cheese. A few shrimp bits. And I add some more. Okay, now I'm going to continue to do this, and all of them, only half will be done this way, and the other half will just be done with the stuffing that I prepared, and it'll be on the other side. So I'll go ahead and complete this. Once I get it all completed, I'll bring you back and show it to you just before I put it in the oven. I'll be right back. Okay, now I'm back and they're all finished, and I finished them up, several different ways. Some of them have shrimp on the top, some have cheese, some have sauce and cheese, some have just sauce on top of it. This side is filled with cheese, and the side over on this side does not have cheese in it because I'm not really a lover of cheese, but it may have shrimp in it, may not. Anyway, I'm going to place this in the oven 350 degrees for 30 minutes, and after 30 minutes, maybe a little bit longer, but definitely less than 45 minutes, I'll bring you back and show you what the finished product looks like. Be right back. Okay, now we're back and the peppers are ready. So I'll take them out and show you what they look like. There they are. The cheese is melted fine. Some of them are stuffed with shrimp. The others are sausage as well as the ground beef. If they flip over, all you have to do is just sit them right back up. Okay. There they are. They came out really, really good. I know that if you try this recipe, you are truly going to enjoy this recipe. Well, that's what Chris has for you today. I'm making stuffed green peppers for my dinner meal. And as always, thank you for watching. Chris cooked for you too. Bye.